Something's off. That was the comment from a GM that I was working with a couple of days ago. Let me describe something that scares good leaders. Nothing's blowing up and nothing's technically wrong, but somehow a year goes by and you're having the same conversations. That's not chaos, that's drift. And drift doesn't announce itself. It doesn't break things loudly. It doesn't like fall into your life. It quietly steals your momentum. And today, I want to show you how elite leaders prevent drift and why compounding progress is a skill, not a personality trait. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. And if you're a leader that's stuck in your Groundhog Day, if you're trying to find traction, if you can't seem to get that sense of knowing you're going to move forward, you're in the right place. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This isn't motivation, and this isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at work, and at home. You're in the war room now, so let's get after it. Going back to that conversation I shared, here's a truth that most leaders miss. Progress isn't captured, it evaporates. Teams improve for a week, energy spikes for a month, then reality takes over. Why? Because improvement without reflection doesn't compound, it just resets. And here's the dagger line. If you don't review it, you lose it. That's how well-intentioned cultures stall. That's how you end up 0 to 0 every month. But elite leaders, they don't rely on memory. They rely on rhythm. And they understand this ladder. You review yearly and you lose quarters. Review quarterly and you lose months. Review monthly and you lose weeks. The longer the gap between reviews, the more progress that leaks out. That's not a motivational problem. That's a measurement problem. And so here's today's execution move. And I call this the weekly lock-in. Once a week, every week, ask yourself these 3 questions. What went well this week? And write it down. What needs work? Because it didn't go well. And what do we do differently next week? And write it down. Say it out loud. Revisit it next Friday. And here's the line that I want you to steal. Reflection is how improvement compounds instead of disappearing. That one habit alone separates elite cultures from average ones. And this idea of reviewing frequently so progress sticks is just woven throughout my book, Unstoppable Culture. It's a step-by-step guide to create a relentless, results-focused, high-performance team. Because elite cultures, they don't wish improvement lasts. They install systems that make it inevitable. And if this way of thinking is resonating with you, then go to chrishunsicker.com and download a free chapter of Unstoppable Culture and look at your way to build a step-by-step guide, how to create a relentless, results-focused, high-performance team. And it'll help you turn short-term wins into long-term advantage. And if you're leading a team that's busy, but somehow not moving forward, send them this episode. Because elite leaders do not rely on motivation. They lock in progress. And that's the kind of leader you're becoming. Now, if you want to go elite on this one, then here's what I would ask you to look at. Do a daily reflection. I was just sitting down with someone who is a manager, and they were talking about how they got a performance review. It didn't quite go how they wanted. And so the first thing I did was I sat him down and I said, listen, you need to go ahead and do this. Like, all I want you to do is do this daily for 5 minutes before you leave work. What went well? What needs work? How do I improve? Because the shorter the measurement time, the least amount of time you're going to lose. So go out today, create some leadership fire, and I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.